Hey up everybody, my name's Joshua Morrison, director of Jonny Mozza's Our Lessons in Confidence. Today I want to talk about a little... Hang on. Hey up everybody, my name's Joshua Morrison, director of Jonny Mozza's Our Lessons in Confidence. Today I want to talk about... For fuck's sake! Do you see what I mean? It's very easy to get very discontented with yourself and to get yourself down and to beat yourself up and to not be kind to yourself. The way I wanted to start this video off was talking about just kind of, it would be me looking into the camera, a bit of a gummy smile like this, right? And just like pointing out, like, look at that fucking gummy smile, look at that stupid grinning fucking face, look at you lanky prick with your stupid fucking hair. What's that? Right? That just looks a wreck. So I put this hat on it and now I just look like I'm wearing a bobblehead, right? Like that, okay? And it's very easy to get yourself down and to beat yourself up and to not be kind to yourself and to accuse yourself of being ugly or stupid or boring or whatever, right? And there's so many negative words that you can use to describe yourself, right? And it's very hard to be kind to yourself because your brain, at least my brain, prefers to be negative towards itself because it sees it as like constructive criticism and honesty and bluntness that you need in order to develop yourself further. Because look, I'm not a perfect fucking human being, you know? I get so many things wrong. I've upset people without intending to. I've made the wrong decisions and faced the consequences for it, you know? So many things have gone wrong in my life and so many of those things have been my own doing, okay? Like, I'm not a perfect being and I don't expect myself to be. But none of that is any reason to hurt myself and to insult myself. Like, think about it like this. The way that your brain is to you, would you ever be like that to someone else? You know, you might get yourself down, you're like, oh, you're fucking stupid, you know, you're really kind of fucking stupid, you know. You wouldn't say that to someone, because if you did, you'd hurt their feelings. And yet you're more than happy to hurt your own feelings, and that's totally fine. And I just feel like it's hard to escape. It's hard to not do that. And I do understand why it's there. It's some kind of survival instinct, I suppose, to ensure that we get to be as good as possible, to be, you know, some post-flawed state where we're no longer, you know, plagued with issues. We no longer have anything that we need to focus on and to improve on because we've improved everything to the max of our ability. If we're talking about playing the game of life, we've 100%ed it at this point. We've done everything that there is to do. We've lived a fulfilling life. We've done everything right. We've made so many people happy, blah, blah, blah. And then there's nothing left to do. I feel like that's why the brain gets you down, so that it can push you to do more. But I feel like a lot of people, including myself, get the opposite sort of reaction out of it. When you do beat yourself up, you don't see that as motivation to become a better person. You just kind of get yourself down and depressed and you're like, God, what's even the point of continuing on? And it's very easy to get like that. And that can be a bit of a self-feeding cycle. And you know, I've been through, you know, the odd depressive episode where I've been pretty unhappy for a long period of time and I'm getting myself down about it. I'm like, Josh, you keep being fucking depressed. Stop being fucking depressed, you fucking mopey twat. And it's like, how is that helping? Me saying that to myself, what is that doing to benefit me? Nothing. It's doing nothing to benefit me. Say if there was depressive here, right? And I was having a bit of a chat with him and he went, oh, Josh, you know, I'm really depressed. And I said to him, oh, well, fucking smile, you lanky twat. Stop being so fucking down on yourself and being so self-absorbed that you're so fucking depressed when other people have it worse than you. You twat, right? Imagine you said that to that person. I think they'd be quite right to not hang out with you anymore. And yet I can't stop hanging out with my brain, right? It's always there, it's always talking, it doesn't stop, right? So all I can do is try and control it as much as I can. And the way that I've found that works quite well is, because my brain likes to chuck out negative words quite a lot, right? So I'll be walking around and I'll be like, oh, for fuck's sake, this is so fucking irritating. I'll try and reword that to myself and I'll be like, no, it's not, it's all right. No, it's okay, this is all right. And that kind of quells it a little bit. Say if I'm thinking about something and my brain immediately goes for some negative buzzword, I kind of react to it with a positive buzzword just to try and reinforce my mind into not constant positive thinking, because I don't think that's helpful for us. I feel like you need a bit of negativity, but I feel like it needs to be controlled and diluted negativity. If you just give yourself the raw, unfiltered, you know, you're a fucking twat, you bloody head, what are you fucking doing? Why are you being like this? Right? And you start doing that with yourself. It doesn't help. It doesn't benefit you. It doesn't make you any better. It's not going to solve your issues. And what you want to do is just try and be as kind to yourself as possible. try and forgive yourself, not necessarily for things that you've done wrong that are unforgivable, but just for, the little things. That person that you spoke to at the counter that you called mum, or that time when you were talking to someone and I don't know, they looked really bored and then they left kind of early and you're wondering why they did that. Forgive yourself for these things, because you're not a perfect specimen, you're not a perfect being, and that's okay. You don't have to be. You don't have to be perfect. No one's forcing you to, other than yourself. And the more you force a square thing into a round hole, the more that round hole starts to chafe and scratch and stuff like that. And you don't want to scratch that, because that's your conscious and your personality and your brain. You don't want to upset that and the delicate chemistry sort of balance that's going on in there. You want to be kind to yourself so that you can allow yourself to flourish in the long term through positive thinking. And it does require a rewiring of your brain, no doubt about it. And it's hard to do that. And I'm not saying I've done it by any stretch of the imagination, but I do try to just actively think positively, because it's very easy to passively think negatively. And if you can just go through life being as kind to yourself as possible, you'll be so much happier at the end of that life compared to if you went through life and just were honest with that negative stuff and you just allowed that negative stuff to overwhelm you and to take control over your personality. I see so many people that are just down on themselves and beating themselves up over stuff, and they tell me what those things are, and I just think, I don't think that's a problem. And I understand where they're coming from, because I have similar things where I might say it to someone, I'm like, oh, and then they go, well, why are you worrying about that? That's not even a problem. Because all this effort that you're using to fix these things that you consider issues is time not spent on things that you should be fixing that might actually be real issues. And so you're being blinded to reality by this nasty fantasy that your brain is giving you. And it's very hard to deal with that and to fight your brain into being the thing that you want it to be, right? But it is a war that you kind of have to wage on yourself a little bit. And if you win that war, you're fucking coming out on top. And you can't really lose the war, because if you lose the war, it just goes back to how it is. So there's nothing to lose from trying. And that's why I think that you should be kind to yourself. I just think that you should be a bit nicer to your own brain and a bit more forgiving of the things that you think you've done wrong, because most of those things probably don't matter, and the things that do probably weren't as impactful as you thought they were, or if they were, then there's maybe reasons that you can understand and rationalize why you acted like that. And say if there's none of that, and say it is just you were just being a twat and it caused loads of problems, right? All you can do is try and bring positivity here after the fact and make sure that what happened then never happens again. And so you got all of those steps, and hopefully you don't need to get to the last step, but all the steps are available for you to climb. And if you can do that and just be at one with yourself and be contented, not at one with yourself, I'd say at two with yourself, because I have me and I have my brain, and my brain is the one that sometimes does the negative stuff, and I do the positive stuff back at it. And I obviously know this isn't real science. I obviously know there's only one conscious mind up there, and it's just being split into two things, right? But it's useful for me to think about it like that. It might not be useful for you to think about it like that. Maybe there's some way of thinking that's better for you, and if you can find that, then you'll be on top. So I think that's going to be the video. So thank you very much for watching. Please leave your comments below about what you think about being kind to yourself. Think about times when you've had to be kind to yourself in order to forgive yourself maybe for an issue, or to just try and get yourself through some hard times, just to uplift yourself. Let me know your thoughts in general, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much for watching this one, and have a good rest of the day. Take care, love you and your brain, and goodbye. Hey up everybody, my name's Joshua Morrison, director of Jonny Mozza's Lessons in Confidence. Today I want to talk a little bit about the future of this channel, because it's kind of coming to a head, right? This channel is getting successful. We're getting some viewers, we're getting some subscribers, and truth be told, I'm getting decent revenue, right? I'm getting an average full-time job at the moment, right? However, right, it's quite volatile, this line of work that I'm doing. I'm a YouTuber, right? Which, if you go up to someone in the pub and ask them, and they ask you, what do you do? You go, I'm a YouTuber. They kind of go, oh, right. And it's sort of like, same way that you say to someone, I work in a warehouse or whatever. But it's actually a little bit worse, because if you work in a warehouse, then you're getting, consistent hours and that kind of thing, right? And with this, I'm not guaranteed any money whatsoever. And I feel like to even talk about this is to sort of feel like, I'm only in it for the money, right? And I'm not. I love doing this. And that's why I'm making this video, because I'm at a bit of a crossroads, right? It's been this sort of case for a little while, where I originally set this channel up because I was going to make a film called Jonny Mozza's Lessons in Confidence, right? And I set this channel up as like marketing for it. And to make the film, I'd had like a few grand set aside, right? So that I could just take a few months off so that I could make the film. And then once the film was made, I could go back into work, right? So I can go back into work. And now the few months has long and truly gone, right? But I was able to extend it a little bit because I'm making decent money, and like the Christmas period for YouTubers is generally quite good. So I was able to do all right on that. But now it's kind of coming back to a baseline. It's at a point that I can't live on it anymore, right? I can't live on doing this YouTube stuff like I was able to in the last couple months. So I need to get a real job. For me, that would probably mean like getting back to the videography gigs that I was doing, like events and stuff like that, doing all sorts of stuff like that. The one thing I really enjoy doing, actually, which brings in decent money, is actors' headshots. I like doing them. They're so much fun, and you meet so many great people. So I'm going to get back into doing that. So if you're an actor wanting some headshots, please email me. You can see the money signs in my eyes, right? And I feel like it's a bit of a problem, because I feel like people like this sort of stuff because, I don't know, they see me as almost like in a non-capital sort of world, right? I go out and I talk about my little philosophy here and there, right? And money never really comes into the equation. People, you're not sitting there thinking, how's he paying the bills? Because it's not your concern, right? You're just here for the little bits of talk, right? But from my point of view, I actually have to think about keeping a roof over my head and all that sort of stuff. So, and the thing is, if I get a job, right, I'm gonna have to slow down on these videos, and I've already slowed down on these videos. I'm gonna have to slow down even more, right? I slowed down because I needed to catch up on some other like non-work things that I needed to do, right? Regarding a few films that are in post-production, I need to get them like out and released. So that's why videos have been a bit slower every other day as of late, rather than like 2 a day, which is, I'd love to go back to doing 2 a day. But the problem is that this is a volatile line of work, and it's something that I can't just rely on. I can't rely on just this. I need multiple streams of income. And obviously there's not just this. YouTubers figure out loads different ways of bringing in money. And like, for instance, people donate to me for some reason, and thank you so much for donating. I mean, you don't have to. I just find it so cool that people like get enough out of this that they want to say thanks in that kind of way. Like, that really means the world to me. But then that's what they're all going to say, isn't it? That's what all the YouTubers say. Oh, thank you so much for your donations. Yes, thank you. I really appreciate it. And obviously, like, you know that all your YouTubers need to keep a roof over their head, and that's why people take sponsorships and stuff like that. And, I've not taken any, and I could have, right? And maybe I'll have to, right? But I don't, so far, all I've had offers for are your usual BetterHelp type scam type stuff, and I don't know, I don't really want that to be what this is about. I don't want, oh, here's a bit of philosophy for you, here's a nice little thing to motivate you. By the way, this is sponsored by fucking this thing over here. Buy this. Oh yeah, you wanted some motivation. Oh, buy this. Talking about the world that we live in and all the problems of it. Buy this, just exemplifying the problems of the world, that everyone's trying to sell you crap all the time. And I don't really want to do that, but I might have to, right? I just need to get to a point where I'm making enough money that I can not worry about the roof over my head type thing, right? Which I'm having to at the moment. And I'm at that crossroads where I might have to jack it in and just take up doing events, and then, because doing events on its own isn't enough. It's events plus a part-time day job, right? So if those things are taking up all of my time, then you're probably not going to be getting many videos. You'll probably be getting a video once every week or every 2 weeks or something. And I don't want to do that. I like the regularity. I like this like usual check-in with one another, you know, and it's nice. And I like the community that's being built around here. I know I don't read enough of I know I don't respond to enough of the comments, but I do read every single comment that I get. And I do like sit and take it in, right? But I just don't respond to all of them. The reason that I don't is because I feel like I couldn't give as much energy towards yous as you all individually give towards me. I can't do it to all of you individually like that. I can't, like some people, it looks like they've spent a good half an hour writing these comments. I can't spend half an hour writing a response comment to like 600 comments or whatever. Like I think I get like 100 comments a day. I can't respond to 100 comments a day in that kind of level of in-depthness. I could do, you know, like heart react to everything and, you know, just go, thank you, thank you, thank you. But I don't want to do that because I feel like it just wouldn't be genuine enough. It wouldn't feel right. And like when I respond to someone, I want it to feel like I'm giving them my all. I'm giving them my time and attention and taking what they have to say on board and actually responding to what they have to say rather than just, you know, oh, it's an extra comment for a bit of engagement. Thank you. Duh, with the little clap hand emoji thing that so many YouTubers do. And I don't want to do that, right? I want this to be, you know, a bit more of a genuine kind of thing. And I feel like that's why I'm making this video, because it's not the sort of thing that you want to hear from a YouTuber. Oh, I might have to jack it in because I need to get a job, right? You don't want to hear that. You don't want to be hearing, oh, I need to make some more money from a YouTuber, right? Because I feel like we want to see our favorite artists or creators or whatever as if they live in this sort of utopic kind of world where money concerns aren't really a thing and they can just do this for free, right? Because, you know, this is going out to free and you can watch this without paying for it, and we kind of take all of that for granted a little bit, you know? And I get it. I mean, all my favorite YouTubers, I use AdBlock, and I don't really like donate to anyone or anything like that. So, you know, I'm part of the problem with this, but it's really difficult to figure out. This is a really big dilemma that I have, where I need to get this job, right? Or I need to somehow get this to be stable, right? And doing that would mean like begging for money, and I don't want to do that. I kind of refuse to do that, right? And in a way, this kind of is begging, because just me saying I don't want to beg for money, people are probably going to see that and probably want to donate money, and I, you know, I think the awareness of that fact is part of the problem. I shouldn't be so aware of all of this. I should just kind of sit and make YouTube videos and sort of act like I'm from the past, because that's what so many people think, that these videos come from like the 1980s or whatever. And I should have just played into it rather than, you know, getting all meta with everything. And people are probably like, oh, he's, you know, the magic's kind of gone now because he's talking about stuff that is like, oh, he needs to get money for this and that. And it's like, yeah, well, stop your whining, you know, get a job. And it's like, yeah, I will. I think that the only reason that I don't want to is because I want to keep doing this. I want to just keep doing this forever because it's so much fun. It's so rewarding. Even though like not every day I have the most motivation to make a video, I still make it. And I look back at it and I can't tell which videos I had the motivation for and which ones I didn't, right? Because in the aftermath, it all levels out, right? And that kind of draws back into the quantity over quality thing that I've always been talking about, where I feel like it's more important to make as much stuff as possible than to worry about the quality of it, right? Because you'll end up with you'll end up with quality no matter what, right? At the end of the day. And I don't know, I worry that even making this video is losing the magic of it a little bit, and almost, you know, maybe taking my Patreons and YouTube members for granted. Is like, I'm talking about not making enough money, and it's like, well, I'm donating £5 a month to him. What was he on about? He's not making enough money. It's obviously like, you know that £5 isn't enough to live on, but now he's here like begging for more money. It's like, that's not what I'm doing, right? I'm not out here to try and ask for more money. I'm going to take all the links to all the Patreon bullshit off of this video. You won't see any links in the bottom of this. It will just be like, this is a video about money or something, right? Because I'm not here to beg for anything. I just want to get this off my chest, because it has been on my chest for a little while. The crossroads has been coming. The turn off the motorway has been approaching for some time now. And really, it should have come 2 months ago, but I got lucky with that advertising video that did like 500,000 views or whatever it's got. And so I got lucky with that. And I was able to keep this going for a little bit. And maybe I'll get lucky again, but I can't do that again. I can't just keep relying on getting another video to get views, because that's basically gambling. And I hate gambling. I refuse to engage with it. When I was 13, I went to a social club, like an old man social club, because my friend's granddad had access to it. And there was one time that they were having an event about betting on the horses and stuff. So I bet on the horses a load at the age of 13. They let me for some reason. And I gained 20 quid to begin with. And I was on it. I was like, oh yeah, I've got 20 quid here. And I put more of it on thinking I could get more money. And I lost all that 20 quid. Plus the £10 that I'd originally put in. And that's a lot of money to a 13-year-old. That's a hell of a lot of money. That's like losing like 500 quid now just on horses. And I just think that's mental. And so that's why I can't keep doing it in this style forever. Like this style in terms of the talking to the camera, going out thing is never going to change, right? This YouTube channel will always do that. Okay, and that's my pledge onto you, that this channel will, even if it reduces in consistency, and I start maybe uploading whenever, or maybe once a week, or maybe once every 2 weeks or whatever, I'll still be doing this, and I'll still be covering the same kind of topics, or I'll figure out new topics, because it's all based on my interests anyway. My interests will change over time, and maybe that'll find a new audience. Because also that's another thing to consider, is that at a certain point, yous are probably going to get bored of me, the same way that I get bored of so many of my favourite YouTubers. And then you're bored of them, and you move on to another one. And then 5 years down the line, you go, oh, I wonder what that Jonny Mozza's doing. Is he still making those fucking videos that he does? Oh yeah, he is. I'll watch one. Oh yeah, I remember, yeah, these are quite good, these. And then just not go back to them. That's what I do with so many of my favourite YouTubers, right? And most of them are probably getting like £60 a month off of, the scraps from their old videos, the odd person that goes back and has a quick check in on them, right? They're probably making like 60 quid a month off of that, and then they have to go get a real job, and that 60 quid just pays for their phone bill or maybe their like travel card or whatever, right? And that's probably going to be end up being the future of this channel. But I don't want that to be the future of this channel. What I want the future of this channel to be is I want to first set up a new channel for compilations and stuff and shorts. So that's 2 separate channels, right? Because I saw a TikTok channel that was doing my video. They were just re-uploading my videos. I kind of disapproved of it, because he put like tags on it like this is what the Matrix is, and it's like, I wouldn't say that. It's already a meme that I clown on Andrew Tate, and I talk about how shit Andrew Tate is all the time, and I keep using it as an example. I need to stop using him as a specific example, because people that are like that will take it as me being obsessed with him, when the only time I think about him was when I draw on him for an example, to be honest. But yeah, I can't just keep doing it like that. I want to set those 2 channels up just so that I have something that can stay consistent uploads and stuff. And then I want to actually start the main film channel, which is what I want, because I think this channel now isn't a film marketing channel. This is now some kind of, I don't know, vlog, stream of consciousness, philosophy fucking channel. And I don't think you want to just see like trailers and like, corporate sort of stuff on here, which is what I do for my, real work, for my events and stuff. There'll be like, I'm not going to put that on this channel. There'll be another channel for that. And so if I get all of those channels to a state of monetization, even if they're all making like £20 a month, that's like £80 a month, and that's like your, travel once a month, sort of half covered. I don't travel like the most in the world. And I don't have a car, for instance, so I just get public transport. So that would be fine. Then I can just make a few videos here and there, and just, work in a pub, which is what I do. Go back to that, I suppose, and do events work and actors' headshots and record gigs and take photos for musicians and stuff like that, because that's always, 1, it's fun, and 2, it brings in a bit of money, And this is the thing, is that I feel like there is a big taboo around YouTubers talking about this sort of stuff, and for good reason, because it sounds like, I'm so hard done by, can I have some more money please? And it's not what I'm trying to do with this. I'm really vehemently wanting to stress that this isn't like me bitching and moaning about not having enough money, right? I'm fine for money, right? But if I prioritize the things that will bring me more money, then I'll have to do this a little bit less. And that's what I wanted to get across, is that I will have to start doing this less in the future. And that's just inevitable, and that's going to happen. But I would like to postpone that for as long as possible. So, I mean, my hope is that I get another video that does 500,000 views, but then I can't guarantee that, because that's the gambler's mentality, is constant growth, infinite growth, and that's kind of one of the biggest flaws of capitalism. And I know now that I've got a bit of an entrepreneurial streak in me, that I'm seeing those flaws and capitalistic tendencies within myself, and I don't like it. I don't like seeing that within myself. It's not me, right? But, you know, what am I gonna do? I'm just gonna be a fucking monk and not be able to provide for, you know, my girlfriend and stuff like that? No, I need to bring in money so that I can save up so that we can get a house and stuff. I need that. I need that to be the case. But I also don't want to be someone that like takes the piss with their audience and takes them for granted, you know, and you know, just cons them like Logan Paul and stuff, where they make these fucking crypto things that a load of people buy into them, and then they make like $1 million off of that just overnight, and then as a result, loads of people have lost loads of money from something that they hoped to do, you know. And I don't know, really. I don't know. The future is interesting. The future does seem bright. And I know in this video it sounds like it doesn't seem bright. I'm never going to stop doing this, right? I promise you that now. Even if this channel maybe goes dead for a bit, it will come back, okay? It will always come back. You'll probably see me at the age of 70. Maybe we won't be on YouTube anymore. Maybe we'll be on, like, I don't know, the cloud. I suppose we're already on the cloud. We'll be in space up in the stars by then. And yeah, that's all I really wanted to get off my chest is this dilemma that I have, where I need to make money, but at the same time making money involves selling out, right? And I feel like if I can just get it to a little bit more than what it is now. But that's the capitalistic issue, is that people always want a little bit more than they currently have. And if I had a little bit more than I currently have, then I'd want a little bit more than that. Like, when this channel first started, I was happy to get a video of 1,000 views. Now I get a video that doesn't get 1,000 views and I consider it a failure, right? Back then I've been jumping for joy at the video getting 1,000 views. Now it gets like 900, I'm like, oh God, I'm a failure, right? And you get super into the analytics and stuff. And that's all commodifying the content and commodifying my life, and it's stuff that I've made videos about in the past, and this is another one to add to that list of videos about moaning about being a YouTuber, essentially. Because, you know, we all dislike our jobs in various ways, and like, I love what I do, and I think it's not that it's got the usual like qualms of work. It's got more existential problems that come with it. It raises existential questions about myself and about my future, because basically my job now is to be a philosopher, apparently, because people think I'm a philosopher for some reason when I'm not. And but then I suppose most philosophers in time didn't think they were, but even saying that just sounds like egotistical. So there's no way of really figuring out how to express this without sounding arrogant, without sounding egotistical, without sounding money hungry and sellouty, and like I want to take the piss with my audience, when I don't. I love you all, and you're all so great, and you're all so kind-hearted, and this community so wonderful, and I never want to take it for granted. I just need to figure out what I'm going to do with this future, right? I'm going to figure out what to do with this future, because I'm going to get back into the events, and I'm going to start those other channels, just so that there's still stuff going on, you know, second channels, and if they get to monetize and they can bring in like 10 here, 10 there, whatever, and that's a nice little thing, because I like doing little things just to make a tiny bit of side cash. Like, I've got this little app called I'm not going to open it actually, it might fuck with my recorder, but I've got this app called World of Books, and basically you scan books, and sometimes I'm going down the road and I see books on the side of the road and I scan them, and I can get like 50p here, 60p there, whatever, and then, you know, I get a bundle, I get like £10 worth of books, and then I box them up and send them to Lidl. There's one of those like package post office things in my Lidl, so I just take it there. And yeah, I don't know, this is a hard video to make, because it's moaning about stuff that you don't want to hear me moaning about, really. You don't want to hear me talking about this, and I feel like a lot of people might have lost respect for me because of it, but I'm not going to let that stop me from talking about the things that I want to talk about and that I feel are important for me to talk about. And sometimes things that might not be covered in extreme detail. Like, the only things that I see about money making on YouTube is like really like AI slop driven garbage, and like, oh, here's how you can rationalize your SEO to get the most people. So I haven't rationalized any fucking SEO to do anything. I don't put any tags on my videos. I barely do a description. That all the links and stuff, that's just by default. They just appear there now. I don't copy paste them in or anything. You know, and I don't have a niche particularly. I just kind of make videos on what I want to make, and I shouldn't be doing that really. Maybe I should have just done loads more like the advertising video and just like hopped on that as a trend, or I don't know, done more of the things that make the most money or get the most views or whatever. But I don't want to do that. This isn't a channel about monetization. This isn't a corporate thing. This is, and it feels egotistical to say this is genuine. This is the real world, but it's certainly not phony. So take from that what you will. It's hard to figure this out. It's hard to really figure this out. And yeah, I just wanted to make this video just because, and it's not going to come out right as I make it. I'm going to save this video for when I do get that job and when I do start like, you know, uploading less. I don't know when this video will come out. Probably like, I mean, I'm recording this on Valentine's Day. I've had a really nice Valentine's Day. I'm going to do another video just after this about the Valentine's Day present I got. It's really good. Yeah, and yeah, I suppose this is going to be it. This is the end of the video. I feel like I've run out of steam a little bit. I hope you get my point. I hope you sort of see where I'm coming from and recognize that this isn't like begging for cash or begging for anything. I'm not at all. Even though I feel like the more I say that, the more it feels like I am, and maybe like I inadvertently am, or maybe I'm conscious of the fact that I look like I'm inadvertently doing it or whatever. I don't know. It's hard to figure that out. That's the problem with this as a line of work, is it involves a lot of existential problems and a lot of existential problem solving compared to logistical problem solving, which is kind of my specialty. Like, I'm not a philosophical person. I don't read philosophy. I just kind of think stuff and say it and try and talk without a filter, really, and that's it. So yeah, I hope you liked this video. Hope you, if you're considering making a channel of your own, I hope this gives you an insight into what it's like when you do get that viewership and you do achieve your dream, because that's what I've done. I have achieved my dream. It feels wonderful, it really does. But even when you get into heaven, you know, you still got to queue up to get into the shop at heaven. You know, you still got to, you know, buy your food in heaven and cook it. It's not like it just appears for you. It's not like you get maids in heaven, or you do in Islam, I suppose. Yeah, this is the end of the video, I think. Thank you very much for watching this. I love you all. You're all amazing. I truly mean that from the bottom of my heart. This is such a wonderful community. The email band is so lovely to see the people on there doing stuff. Sorry I'm not more active on it. I'm going to try and be more active on it. I love seeing the comments and the discussions that get raised, and how kind-hearted and encouraging everyone is, and how everyone likes to encourage one another, and it's so sweet to see that. I really love it, and it fills me with so much joy. And the idea that one day I won't wake up to comments, it doesn't fill me with dread or anything. I wouldn't like hate it, right? But I would miss it. I'd miss you all a lot. Yeah, thank you very much for watching this, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye. I mean, this is how, like, I've been carrying this bottle. This has been the same water bottle. This bottle of water costs like 45 pence. I've probably had it for like the last month's worth of videos. Just refilling it from the tap. It was meant to be a vitamin water drink, apple and elderflower. It was kind of grim, actually, when it was the original thing. They have an orange one. The orange one's nice. Yeah. Take care. Hey up everybody, my name's Joshua Morrison, director of Jonny Mozza's Lessons in Confidence. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about Jonny Mozza's Lessons in Confidence. So for the past 4 or 5 months now, I've been working on this film. I've been calling it a feature film, and I've been going around talking about it, and that's how this whole channel started, was me trying to make a platform where I could talk about this channel and you know, do little updates as I made progress on this film, right? And so I did a few videos, like, you know, day 1 is complete, day 2 is complete, etc., etc. I did a couple of videos with various crew members, did videos about, you know, just buying stuff on Amazon that I needed for the film, did all sorts of little videos just about the making of the film itself and all the little bits of the process. generally stuff that doesn't get catalogued normally in behind-the-scenes documentaries. It's not really a behind-the-scenes documentary. It's just me rambling and talking about stuff, as I have been doing for about 200 plus videos now. And I think doing these videos kind of got in the way of making the film Jonny Mozza's Lessons in Confidence as a feature-length project. And so I've had this idea, and it's been whirring in my head for the past couple of weeks, because I've been making the film chronologically, and right now I have about 30 minutes of material. And I've been thinking, why am I stressing out over making this a feature film? Why am I so about this thing being feature-length? And I was thinking about some of my influences and the things that I like and enjoy, and none of them are films, really. Like, Jonny Mozza's Lessons in Confidence is inspired by a few things. I'm Alan Partridge, David Brent's The Office, This Country a little bit, People Just Do Nothing a little bit, things like that, right? And they're all TV series, and I'm trying to make a film, and it's almost like a demo sort of thing, it feels like. And I feel like I shouldn't be making this a feature film. And I sat and I looked at some of my footage and I thought, I have episode 1 just done, ready. Why not make this a 6-episode season of television, right? That will go onto the internet still for free. None of that's going to change whatsoever, and I'll still try and get it on Prime and Tubi TV or whatever, right? And it'll be on YouTube as well. But I think maybe it'd be more fun and easier for me as well, and better for you because you'll get more content if it was made into a 6-episode mini-series, season 1 of Jonny Mozza's Lessons in Confidence, right? Because if it's a feature film, it would be like 80, 90, 100 minutes, right? But if it's a series, and each episode of the series is like, 28 minutes long, that's like 3 hours of telly, right? So you're getting double, right? But you're getting it over a longer period of time. So I've done episode 1 now, right? And I'm taking a mini break while I sort out some other projects that I've got in the pipeline that are in post-production. And I'm getting them sorted out to a point where I can feel comfortable diving into episode 2. So I can kind of thrash episode 2 out in a month. And then, I'm also working on, getting as many of these videos recorded as possible so that I can spend more time thinking about the film and focusing on scripts and stuff like that. Because I think episode 2 I want to be a bit more scripted and tell more self-contained stories and build up a world around Jonny Mozza, right? And I think that would be a lot more fun than putting all my eggs into this one feature film basket, because I'm so dedicated to this idea of being a feature film, because I'm really into folk filmmaking and stuff like that. If I want to do a folk film, let's do something else for a folk film. We'll make a feature film just to show that it can be done. But I feel like with doing this Jonny Mozza thing, it got to a point where I was trying to make it a feature film just so that I could say that I'd made it a feature film. And I feel like that's just arrogance and ego getting in the way. And I would rather strip all of that back, because there's enough arrogance and egotism within Jonny Mozza, the character, as is, right? And I don't need to go adding to that. And I think it would be more fun to develop this character over a longer period of time and kind of treat him as a bit of like a rock and roll Partridge, a little bit more Saxondale in that kind of regard. If you've ever seen the TV series Saxondale, it's about this guy who I think he was like a touring tech. Like he helped out with like instruments and like restringing guitars and like all the amps and stuff like that. And he would go on tour with big bands like Queen and stuff like that back in the day. And now he's in his like late 40s, early 50s. He's got a girlfriend and he's living out in Stevenage in some new build shitty house. And he's got this yellow Mustang that's like his pride and joy. And he's just a miserable twat. And he's really cynical about stuff, and he's really entertaining about how he goes about it. So I like the idea of Jonny Mozza being a bit of a younger version of that, like with a bit more spunk to him and a bit more like eagerness to get angry and stuff like that, and more willing to take extreme risks and that kind of thing. As I was making the film as well, there were so many aspects to Jonny Mozza's character that I feel like I wasn't able to explore fully. Like his alcoholism, for instance. Jonny Mozza drinks a lot through the film, but in the film so far, it's just kind of like, that's just what he does. It's not like we're exploring that in any thematic way. So maybe there'd be an episode dedicated to that kind of thing, an episode more dedicated to the open mic side of things, and an episode more about his like private life and his couch surfing and that kind of thing, and his influences and his friends. And there's just more of a world that I want to explore. I want to send him on tour. I want him to have to cope with his alcoholism. I want him to make a fool of himself. I want him to make some strange enemies and feel under threat. I want to do some sitcom-y plots. I want to have some fun with it, you know? Because I like the basic, simple sitcom. I like that. I get a kick out of that kind of thing. I'm not particularly like a kino cinephile fucking guy in that sort of regard. If I had like infinite resources to make a film, I wouldn't be making like an Inception. I'd probably make like Alan Partridge Alpha Papa or something like that, or like I don't know, The Hangover, but if it was good, that kind of thing. That's what I would do. If I had that money, I would make some balls to the wall funny comedy, or I would do a schlocky horror as well. I'd like to do one of those as well. Maybe that's what the folk film will be. We'll do a schlocky horror with a lot of style, an awful lot of style to it. And yeah, and that's just kind of the idea. And I wanted to make a video just making this public, because I think in every single video I start them off by saying, "Hey up everybody, my name's Joshua Morrison, director of Jonny Mozza's Lessons in Confidence." Director of Jonny Mozza's Lessons in Confidence. People ask what Jonny Mozza's Lessons in Confidence is, and I've been saying it's a feature film. And I'd like this video to be the checkpoint where it goes from being a feature film to being a TV series. Not even a mini-series, as I said earlier, but just a TV series, and we're working on season 1. Look, I know I'm British, and in Britain we say series. The way I think of it is that the overall, like all of Breaking Bad, for instance, is a series, and then there's season 1 of Breaking Bad, season 2, etc. That kind of thing, right? So series is the overall, and then seasons are what make it up, like songs in an album, that kind of thing. That's how I think of it. And yeah, that's basically how it's going to go going forwards. Episode 1 will probably come out in the next couple months, something like that. And then there'll be a bit of a gap before episode 2. While I get these other projects underway, which are all going to be released to YouTube as well, by the way. I'll probably start a new YouTube channel for them, because it's quite different from this kind of thing. So I'd like to, you know, for the sake of branding, I don't want you to get confused. So I'll start a new YouTube channel for that at a certain point, and keep this one going with the, you know, the regular uploads and that kind of thing. And just, yeah, just because I like entertaining people. I like the idea that people get something out of these videos, and people get something out of anything that I make and put effort into, that I crafted with my own bare hands. I really like that and appreciate it. And I appreciate all your comments and everything like that. And yeah, thank you all very much for being along for the ride in the lead up to Jonny Mozza's episode, Lessons in Confidence. Jonny Mozza's Episodes in Confidence is what it is now. Yeah, so episode 1 will be out at some point, and yeah, look forward to that. Look forward to more of this as well. This isn't going anywhere, this kind of video. And yeah, if you have any thoughts, if you're disappointed that it's not going to be a feature film, I am sorry. Please air your grievances about maybe the fact that you feel like I've been deceptive by calling it a feature film all this time. Even though I thought it was going to be a feature film, I've just changed my mind on it, because I realised that this is a better format for it. That 1 works better for me, and 2 works better for the thing itself. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, everybody. Have a good rest of the day. Take care. Leave your comments below about Jonny Mozza's Lessons in Confidence, what you'd like to see from it. And yeah, watch, by the way, the video is called Introducing ... Jonny Mozza, right? It's one of the first videos uploaded to this channel. If you go on the channel and you go to videos and you search by oldest, it'll be like one of the first ones there. And it's got a picture of me like this with a leather jacket on. I need to change the thumbnail. It's a bit of a shite thumbnail. But yeah, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.